Welcome to In the Q, Q Vision's very own Producers Lounge. I'm Dorinda Angelucci, and I'm going to share the insides of what it takes to get your projects in the queue. You guys were pretty much our first content creators to come onto the queue. So
Yes.
being the first ones in our first series of Producers Lounge type of a forum is a thrill and a very, very respectable honor for me. So thank you.
We feel very honored to even be here and just talk about, everything from where we've been to where we're going in the future. And we're in the future right now, as you can see with the background. So this is exciting. We're making it work.
You guys are always moving it forward. Those of you who do not know of Tan Clan and the gentlemen of Tan Clan, first of all, I wanted to just start with that. Tell the world, let's introduce Tan Clan a little bit to the broader society. What is the mission of Tan Clan Productions? And tell us about that.
Tan Clan is not just a company, but it's not just about specializing in video and content. Tan Clan is really a lifestyle. We were born into it. Tan, for those of you who do not know, and most of you probably won't, but it really is our initials. My name is Terrence Allen Nelson.
I'm Thaddeus Abraham Nelson.
And our father created Tan Clan as a lifestyle for us to just be forward thinking, to be prophets, to be warrior scholars, and to be able to do whatever we want when we set our minds to it. So essentially, we specialize in video production, editing content, really anything in the entertainment field. And we've had, a lot of experience and knowledge just in the field. So we're able to do cool things with our content. But our mission really is to create content that constantly evolves and be able to have a stream of content that can run 24/7, 7 days a week, and have enough content that you can sustain a network with just original content that we make ourselves. And of course, team up with other networks such as Q Vision and just create dope content that people want to watch and grow with our audience and entertain people as much as inform people. So we call it infotainment.
Yes, definitely.
So that's just a brief, but you really gotta follow us on our road and our journey to really get the deeper. Like I said, it's more than just a company, it's a lifestyle. And we do more than just video. It's just one of our things that we specialize in.
What I like, yes, you have wardrobe, you have marketing, you have swag, you have a perfume line. It's endless. It's extremely impressive, gentlemen, extremely impressive. One of my second questions is, how did this all get started? Like, how old were you when you guys made some of this original content? It looks pretty lengthy, and you have a library that goes back just on YouTube of 183 pieces of content. But I know it was before that.
Yes. To be honest, I don't even know really. In a lot of videos I've lost. Somebody asked me about another video that I just can't even find for the years that we've been doing this stuff for. So I think at this point, when I was able to understand what a camera was, I definitely had it in my hand. I think I started more with the photography. My dad is a videographer, so we're definitely in that world and kind of came from that cloth. I would say it really got real, and I was actually telling a friend this story yesterday when I was in high school. Long story short, a friend invited me to video class, and I wasn't even in that class at the time, and I just never left. And that was about 11 years ago, and I haven't really stopped making videos since.
Let's talk about that for 1 second. About what grade do you think that was? You said high school?
That was my sophomore year, and it was cool because he was a senior. I was a sophomore in high school, and I was always hanging out with the older kids. It was actually one of his friends. I had a free period. I went to media productions, and I just never left. And my very first music video, my very first video that I did was the Slick Rick children's story. I made a music video to that, and I was hooked. Definitely was.
I think that's really important. Also, as a production mother, a parent who actually does expose their children to a lot of production and gear and the dreams of us touching gear. I think it's really important that you kind of jumped in a little bit on your own and found it yourself. It wasn't pushed down your throat.
Yes.
But tell us a little bit more about how you guys own that creative space, because you guys are very eclectic as producers. How did that come about?
Well, I would say we can both have different perspectives, but for us, we've always come from just being creative and just doing what people didn't dare to do, even from the way that we dressed. Like back in high school, I was the best dressed, and so was Thad the best dressed out of thousands of kids. Going to Brentwood High School, is over 1,400 kids that graduated my senior year, and I won best dressed out of that. You know, and that's just a small thing, but it's like, you know, we've always had creativity and weren't afraid to just do what people weren't going to do. When people weren't like, you know, we would be in school wearing bow ties, looking swaggy, wearing cardigans, and stuff like that, just so that we can look different. And set the tone. Like even freshman year at college, I used to get my nails done in different colors because I didn't have any fear or any thought in my mind that, you know, people are gonna look at me away, because I wasn't raised to think like that. So because I wasn't raised with a barrier or raised to think, you know, or to care what people thought, I never thought like that. And even now, I still don't think like that. So even sometimes when we push the boundaries with our content, it shows, because people will always doubt you. People always tell you what you can and can't do, but it's up to you to believe that. And so we've never believed it when it comes to video, when it comes to how we dress, how we carry ourselves. You know, I have dreads, and you know, some people even think I'm a rapper, you know, just because of the way I look. But, you know, I'm very well educated. You know, I went to school, got my bachelor's degree in a traditional way, which some people aren't too, you know, fond of that. But I only say that to say, you know, we're more than what meets the eye. Just because of what you see is so much more under the surface.
Right. And that's very important, because a lot of young people, they get caught up in the exterior. They don't know how to like translate who they really are without feeling kind of crushed. So it's really important that you guys were able to own that. And that is very prideful. I'm very honored.
We can't take complete credit for that.
I don't want to say that. Go ahead.
It really comes from our family, our mother, father, and, you know, the supporting family around that allowed us to be free to think and do what we want. Because, you know, we can say this now and speak about what we've done, but if our parents didn't allow us or expose us to certain things early on, then we'll just be another.
It could have got squashed.
Another crushed or squashed soul. Like, you know, that's why, not to say that I don't think that what we do is amazing, but I think anybody can do it.
Yes.
You know, you just have to be exposed and be in a position where you can fully utilize the knowledge and the experiences that you have. So I was never crushed. We were never crushed. We were allowed to do what we wanted to do and be as creative. And that's why we don't,
I identify with that so much.
And shout out to them. I see them doing their thing. You know, we support them too. So kudos to them. Keep it going. You know what I mean? It's
your kids.
Yes.
Blaze, who is 10, who I had to ask Blaze to make. He's making the intro to the show.
Wow. Okay.
Exactly. Never too early. Never too early.
No, you guys have set up the road, and he's following definitely in your footsteps. Definitely.
Go ahead. And I would say, as a Black person, that's what it is. You know, one thing that I've realized is we have to be the spooks and just really give back the information, because, you know, I've got it for so many different places. You know, I work with kids too, and I feel so blessed that I actually can give kids information that I got early on and really set them up for the future. That, you know, because it's a whole bunch of videos, and, you know, we've been doing this, so it's gonna be a lot of this. And I know what we're supposed to be doing on this earth for the most part, and, you know, we're really paying it forward, and, keeping it moving.
Let's jump to talk about a few of your skits. So if anyone goes to your YouTube channel, and of course, if they visit Q Vision's YouTube channel and visit Q Vision at night, you'll see your stuff. But when you go to your channel, what we see a lot of is do-rag news and lots of varying different great skits. So first, let's talk about the skits. Where do the skits come from? What are the catalysts behind some of the skits? You got what? The church skit?
You know where that came from.
All right, well, we can speak, directly about the church skit. It was like, we grew up in the church. I grew up young, going to church in Brooklyn, like literally born in the church because my mother was in the choir while she was giving birth to us. And we always had experiences that were funny. And so it just comes like, yo, it's just like just draw back. It's like just pull back, just make it modern. Pull back from our experiences, and then we just make our own version of it. And essentially, that's how all of our skits or sketches come along, is by.
Where did CP time come from?
CP time. Well, if you look at The Office and you look at their documentary style, we was like, yo, we don't see black people in an office setting. I would love to see black people being candid, real, smoking weed, kick back, feet up, doing hot, being late to work, like, because that's real, So it really was just a reflection of real life, people who look like us, by us, but then, taking a template from what the office did, to be quite frank. And that's how that derived. And I'm so glad you brought that up, because people don't even know. But CP Time is in pre-production, and we're working on expanding that sketch into a full show. We're up to episode 5 right now, writing the script. We got a meeting tomorrow. We're going to cement that, and the pilot is coming very soon. So everybody, stay tuned. They're gonna
That's all you get for free.
That's all you get.
That's all you get. That's it. I don't want any more. But that takes me to a really good space. You guys share 2 seconds of, did you go to college for production? Like who's the producer? Who's the director? Who's the writer? Give my audience a little bit of like how the jobs come to line up.
Yes.
Yeah, well, just the short version. Yeah.
Yes. I went to college. I actually ran track there, and I was a media production kid. But we went to LIU Brooklyn too, so we were really close. So we even kind of grew up another plateau together in college. So we're always together, had some lot of good creative and crazy times. But I would say early on, my first 2 years was really more focused on track. And I would think the last 2 years are really more creative. And that's one thing that I appreciate about college. And there is pros and cons. We actually made an episode about that. About college, and for me, it's really a toss up, because I was born to be disciplined. I love discipline. I think we all must treat discipline as like second nature. We must have it. And being an athlete, waking up every day at 5 in the morning to work out. And
so you did track.
Yes.
You're track, right?
Yes.
So did I. Ran track.
You ran track, right?
And I'll say too, the reason why we're able to do what we do, and it seemed like a lot, which to me is nothing. Ever since I was a kid, there was never a point when I wasn't doing something. I just remember being 3-4 years old. I was playing baseball on the field, played basketball, wrestling, jazz band, marching band, business class, doing ballet. Like, it was always a moment. So for now, it's just we're manifesting and using that same type of energy, as busy as we were. And it's just where we are now. So
now, I did not know you took ballet. I'm funny you said that. I'm glad you said that, because I am a mom who put her son in ballet class. Because that was my oldest son.
All did it. We was 4 years old, like very young, like 4 or 5, like in ballet classes, in different African style classes. So no, our parents just wanted us to be busy and active, and just exposed us to a lot. And we kind of just found what we gravitated to as we got older. And so video is what we gravitated to more, and creating entertainment and content. But to finish your question, because he went to school for video media production, I went to school for business management and marketing. So I always had the mind to create the business plan, create an LLC, corporations. I've done already a few of those. And so I was really into being in the books and educating myself on how I can expand my father's vision with Tan Clan to really bring it to the next level. So, and
that's basically what we did in college.
I went to school for business. He did the media, and now we just fuse those two worlds and knowledge and information together, but we can just further the mission for Tan Clan and then start other businesses.
That's more than what a parent would hope for. The synergy, the passing it forward, the working together. It's very motivating. Very motivating.
Thank you.
Take me to those sets.
Which one?
I will be playing clips of your videos, but maybe you take us to one of the sets that's the most awkward. Give me an awkward moment on these very hilarious, candid seeming productions that are so well orchestrated. We know they're not, they're so well scripted, but give us one of those awkward moments that you guys are having on your sets.
Awkward moment.
And make sure and call it out so I can pull it up for the audience.
Okay. Let me think. What's awkward? I say this. I can't think of anything that I would deem awkward, as much as, a lot of times things might not go directly as planned, as far as if you have somebody that's supposed to play like a principal role and they don't come, and then I think maybe I have to step up, or dad has to step up and do it, but it doesn't reflect in the end,
Right.
A lot of our if you look at a lot of our early sketches, there was no script. It was literally, all right, we have an idea, and we tell everybody idea and like this is what we're doing, and then just shoot. And so like past that, then we was like, okay, now we have to start writing scripts because I wanted to get better, and Dad wanted to get better. Since we knew we wanted to write movies, we have to get better with that skill of writing. So we started writing scripts. But before that, we would just literally like call our friends, get an idea, get the set, and hit record, and then whatever happens, happens, and then we'll just give people a general direction, and we'll go with that. But now we write scripts just so we can get better with the skill of it.
Yes,
because we know you're gonna need that to write films and write longer, bigger projects.
Okay, so talking tech talk, take me back a little bit. What were the early camera gear that you guys were using when you were starting out, and versus now where you've progressed to with your technology?
I'm gonna say I love my light and bright. I've really been using the A7 III for as long as I think maybe about a year after it came out. So I would say once we started shooting stuff, and that's really where a lot of the skits came from. Yeah. We shot things with the A7 III. So I'm always gonna say the A7 III. Mm-hmm. It's mainly for photos, but I'm a video guy. Mm-hmm. It's not a big weight that I have to carry around, and the shots that we shoot come out clean.
Right. Okay, and that's now. Or that was before.
That was before and now.
Yeah, and you're still on that. Okay.
Yeah, because we shot with that, and then obviously you get different lenses and different lighting and equipment to enhance what you're doing. But we've been shooting on that Sony A7 III for a minute. Also, we had a Canon before that. I didn't really like the Canon as much as the Sony. But then we also have our father that comes along, and he has his equipment that helps us to make anything we want to look grand. So, but A7 III. But even now, we shoot that and we get the job done, and it looks broadcast ready. So
it's funny because there's a curtain behind you. The setup is right there. The camera's right behind you because I'm gonna shoot Durag News after this is done. So my night is nowhere near over.
Wow. And then what about your editing software? What editing are you
I'm a Final Cut guy. Like I said, in high school, I was introduced to Final Cut, and I just kind of stayed there.
I was doing good with Final Cut. Then they went to 10, and it got too messy. I couldn't get it. My brain is older than your brain.
Yes.
It took me a long time, and now I'm doing Filmora. It's really easy, but I'm not as good at editing as I used to be. But you're still on Final Cut land? You still like that the best? Not Premiere?
Not Premiere. For me, because I do a lot of green screen, a lot of editing, and a lot of fast editing. With Final Cut, I get a lot of rendering space and time back with that. With Premiere, I edit crazy. So I tried it, and just with the rendering, I got shit to do. So I got to make sure.
Do it.
And that's one thing, too, I'd like to say to the audience, too, is nowadays, we're in a time where it doesn't even matter as much of what equipment or what digital video editing software you use, because it's just about making content that you love and content that you know that people would appreciate. People are shooting on their phones. People are editing on their phones. So, this big media background that, that we've come from and these major networks, there's a shift in the past few years, and it's like, you got to get with it, because if people shooting on their phone get millions of views, who gives a hell or gives a fuck all that big ass equipment and all of that people have,
I 100% agree with that, especially as the content curator for QVision. I literally vet like hundreds of pieces of content now a week, and I am so impressed. I see content, like you said, people shot with their iPhones. I see the guy who never went to film school. He just had this great idea and has his buddy who had a raggedy, old digital camera, and he shot it and he edited on his laptop, and he didn't even have a Mac, and it looks fine. It's great. I'm way impressed right now. It's more about what they put into it and then what gear they are using. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. And
it has been simplified. There's way less barriers to the entry. It's like, if you want to be a director, just get in the game. It's not not so much money. You can run equipment now for cheap. It's just about what story you're telling and really giving people what they want.
Yes.
Speaking of stories we're telling, weekly you tell the public you have a newscast, Durag News. You guys turn this show out, I want to say every Thursday it is.
Every Thursday.
Topical information, topical news stories. It's in your face, really gritty. What's that process like? Who writes the scripts? What's the research like? How did that happen?
Well, we have a team, so there's a few things that goes into it. It's just the research. So we kind of find whatever the top stories are. That kind of like on everybody's minds, and then we kind of give our perspective on it. But we also have sports, weather, hip hop news, film news, and even we have a news segment.
The Susie food.
Even
I like her vegan.
financial advice.
Yeah.
So I mean, we kind of want to give it broad. I definitely want to keep the show going, really be the news. Like I said, we grew up around in the news, so we want to be able to give millennials, news in their language and really just open up dialogue for the world and information that we're getting.
But specifically when it comes to research, when I'm doing my reports, what I would do is I read multiple articles, and I'm very well versed in doing research myself. So I'll sit and compare articles from this outlet to that outlet, and then really see how they work together, and then what is my opinion based off of what I've observed. Because no matter what, you're reading somebody's article, it's biased to whatever their agenda is or whatever they want to put out. So you have to really be able to vet it and know what it is that you want to get across and educate your people. And that's what Do-Ag News was. It's really news for us, by us, because we do feel that a lot of mainstream media and big news networks don't give the stories that we want to hear or what we need to hear. So that
do you guys lean towards one or two news outlets that you prefer, or you feel more liberal? Like what's your take on, like, what's your ranking?
I don't lean. I really just go off of I hear news, and then we'll look at multiple sources. Yeah. And then I'm a reader too. So like, it's funny how I'm reading a book, or I've actually read the book already, but Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson.
Yes.
And I'll read that book, and then I'll hear a news article, and then we'll compare based off of facts and evidence that we've seen from that book and how it relates to where we are right now. And then to really give people good information and point them in the right direction based off of people who have done the work. Dr. Claude Anderson is very, educated, experienced, and has been, in politics for a long time. So, it really is about having multiple sources and vetting your sources, and it's difficult because sometimes you can be wrong. And there's nothing wrong with that, as long as you clean it up, and it's a part of the media game. You could be wrong sometimes, but
it's right. First Amendment, it's right. It's freedom of speech. Got it. Yeah, you put it out there. Exactly. All right. It's January.
Yes.
It's no getting around that. It's January. I'm going to be running this in January.
Yeah.
First holiday of the year, of course, is Martin Luther King Day, which is coming up this week.
Yes.
I wanted to know, who was your most influential civil rights leader?
For me, I'm gonna have to say Malcolm X. That's why I wear these glasses. You know what I mean? I love Malcolm X. I really love the evolution of the man. That is one thing that's beautiful to me, is really understanding the roots of where he comes from. People don't understand that, his father was actually someone who came under Marcus Garvey. So for him, it really was, you're really walking the line, of the ordainedness. I love that he did come from New York. So, we're New Yorkers. So I love, he came from East Elmhurst. My dad came from East Elmhurst. And, it's Malcolm X. Malcolm X is he's the one.
It's you. Okay, next.
I'm going to say, I already said it, but I'm going to say Dr. Claude Anderson. And, Marcus Garvey is another good one. He said it already, but I'm going to say Dr. Claude Anderson because he's still alive. And he has written many books that are helping to educate people and how we can create sustainability amongst our community. And he's not far to reach. He's been in politics for over 80 years. He's not in it anymore, but he's been in it for such a long time. And just the information and perspective that he brings to anybody Black, whether young or old, is just helpful. So I would say Dr. Claude Anderson. Everybody needs to, do their research and catch up on him. But it's so many that, to even just put on one.
No. Just being timely. I'm actually talking with the teachers at my son's school, sharing some new names so that they could go past the top 3 King, Malcolm, and Parks. I'm like, if my kid does another report on X, Malcolm and Parks. I'm gonna, come
You're right.
Harry Carey. Like I do not want him to come home with those names.
Like, we know
And
that.
so I've thrown out to them, of course, Sojourner Truth and Frederick Douglass, and I've been talking to him a little bit more about some more of the women who have been contributing to the civil rights, movements, and it's been a really good. Again, he's young. This child I'm talking about is younger, but I feel like it's just as much. I have just much responsibility to kid him younger
Yeah.
with the information than I do. I'm not worried about my older ones who are in their 20s like you guys.
Yes,
So, yeah.
I would agree. And that's one thing too. We definitely was raised black and proud. My dad was definitely a person who was ingrained, all of this history and the knowledge, and
Mm-hmm.
it's really cool. And I look at my dad as a person who was, as you're young, your parents are growing too. So
Yeah.
every bit of information that he was learning, he was telling us. So, as the years go on, things were changing, because we were more, kind of religious and kind of follow the Christian faith. But as we, got more informed in this blackness, you repping the Ankh style more so than anything else. And that's just kind of comes with information.
Mm-hmm.
That's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Tell us a little bit about your new project. What's the movie?
Phone Jones.
Yes,
Jones.
Phone Jones. I'm sorry. Yes.
Phone Jones, better stay up your phone. So just to give a background with that, stuff. I'm gonna say stuff because a lot of what people don't know is a lot of the sketches, shows, and content pieces that we create really was a seed that was planted from stuff. Stuff we did 2 years ago. We shot a trailer because for our show Stuff, we used to do like different comedy sketches, and we wanted to do a trailer. So we created a trailer for a horror film. And at the time, not necessarily thinking about making it into a movie, but as the years went on, we thought we really could expand this story and make it into a script. So I wrote up a nice 10-page script, and we literally just shot it. We shot it like we always do. We shot the movie in 2 days. I got a dope cast. I got Alina, amazing actor, dancer. She does a bunch of different stuff, creative. And TJ Brown, who is on some Netflix series and some Netflix shows, to come and just really bless the camera and give us some of the artistic vision through the acting. And Phone Jones is just about, indirectly trying to tell people to stay off their phone, because if you stay off your phone, Phone Jones will get you. So it's like a deeper underlying message, but for the surface is is stay off your phone, or Phone Jones is going to hack your social media,
Right.
and embarrass you, put shit on your social media to defame your name, and then eventually kill you. And really the inspiration behind that is, as funny as it sounds on the surface, it's like
It's real.
it's real, and
real.
we haven't seen this type of horror yet. Like we're still, I feel like, still stuck on zombies and werewolves to a degree, and but now that we're in a new tech age of phones and all this cellular shit, horror should be able to advance with that too. So we just wanted to make horror have a new perspective from the phones that everybody has on an everyday basis. So that was essentially it.
That's good, and it's a reality.
Yes.
We're getting, your phone could get tapped. You're getting hacked all over the place.
Yep.
It's a reality. So putting it into a horror spin is very timely. Well done. Well, the trailer is running on QVision. We look forward to airing it. We'll probably have a special air day for you guys. Maybe a go live and a fun meet. But we're excited and we're waiting to run that piece for you guys. Absolutely. Absolutely coming soon. And what I wanted to ask you on that note is, how do you guys get your funding for your projects?
Well, it's all in-house. Most of it has been in-house. I work a 9 to 5, so I always know I have to get a job to get some money, and we hustle. We hustle.
That is really important, and I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people think that they could just go be producers and directors, and they want to get into business, and they're going to get discovered tomorrow. No. You still have to have a 9 to 5.
Yes. So I have a 9 to 5. We hustle. I got a few, like we mentioned, I got an oil business promo potions where we sell oils. I got the website popping. So we do trade shows.
What's the name of that again? Please share that again.
Aroma Potions. We sell essential oils, fragrance oils, and
Love it. I still never got my sample. I just want to let you know.
I'm sorry. What? I'll make it my mission to send you something. I'm gonna make That's what I miss. I'm gonna send you some product, but you know that was essentially it. You know, I told you before I went to school for business and I started an LLC, Pro Potions, and we've been selling oils there. We have the website, so we sell, and we have a bunch of hustles. And you know, for this particular project, Phone Jones, how we're raising capital is we've already raised $1,000 for it.
Thank everybody who donated.
Thank you for everybody who has donated. And it's not a lot of money, but it was our start. And you know, Black people always talking about pooling our resources and doing stuff. This is really is a way that you can fund something Black owned, know where it's come from, know what its perspective, and put your money and pool your money so that we can create our own content. So we're going to continue this model going forward to raise money from our people, by our people, so that we don't have to sit there and feel like, we're doing it by ourselves.
Yes.
Regardless, the movie is going to come out with or without anybody's money, but it does help to, when you have funds that help to maximize and can help market and spread the visibility.
I'm definitely going to put up your GoFundMe link at the end of this, so that will be included in today. But what I definitely wanted to share with you publicly is that Q Vision is all about independent content creators and supporting you guys' projects. This whole particular mission of Q Vision is to help independent content creators get their content out there, get the visibility they want and deserve, help you guys actually get to that next level. I call you guys like the next Damon Wayans, Wayman Brothers, for lack of anything else to describe you guys as a one word. Wayman Brothers is 2 words, I'm sorry. But I just wanted to share with you guys that Q Vision is going to donate $200 to your projects.
Thank you.
Absolutely. This is like the first time for us. Also, we're just a new entity too. We don't have a slush fund that much either, but because you guys, came on board with us first and, trusting with us and the numbers and everything else, we want to support you right back. So we'll be sending that over to you guys.
And
absolutely.
Just so I know, and because people do ask, where the money is going essentially for the raising we're doing for the film is just for distribution and marketing and getting it to as many people as we can, because that is a cost. You have the greatest project ever, but if you don't have the visibility, it's like you're limited. You're still limited to whoever's in your close circle. So,
and that is exactly how this idea came about. Everybody, we're finding a lot of young minority directors and producers, and I'll just call them diverse content creators. They were all stuck. Their content is all stuck YouTubes or in the Vimos and other places like that, and it's not going anywhere. So that is exactly where I think I've shared with a lot of people, that is the platform that Q Vision is. So you guys are right on par with what we want and who we want to help. So yeah, we're your big fans. We're big cheerleaders and happy to help push you guys out. 100%. 100%.
That's how we go. That's how we go. And Phone Jones is the first movie of many. I think 5 to 10 year plans down the line. That's how we think.
Yeah.
When we first started doing a video like we did with our first show stuff, it was it could take 3 to 5 years for us to really get to that position, and we knew that going forward. And right now we're in year 2, so we're right on schedule.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Right on schedule.
And I would like that. And I would like to add that a lot of this stuff does take time and sacrifice. And I really look to the end, so like you said, who's paying for a lot of it is just a lot of things that you're paying for is just time. I'm really down to put a lot of time in what we're doing. I say we must have to have the agricultural skills of life. Everything that we've done are setting us up. Even to kind of piggyback this, the first episode of Stuff had a little Do-Rag News skit on it. So this is way before we even thought it was gonna be its own show.
But the believing in yourself and the fortitude to keep doing it is what makes you guys a success already. Just that alone and pushing yourself forward, that you cannot mitigate. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, last question.
Yes,
real quick. This is I call it the keep it real questions. This is the keep it real questions. Yeah. Pepsi or Coke? Pepsi, Coke.
Neither. Ginger ale. I was gonna say ginger ale.
Ginger ale.
I would say ginger ale.
Man. Okay. Sports car or motorcycle?
Sports car.
I would go
But you
sports.
guys being motorcycle guys.
No, I think that's just that train left
I
already.
would do a sports car over motorcycle.
What's the name? Is this a Telsa? What kind of car is it now at this level?
To be honest, I'm not even a big car.
Yeah, we're not really car people like that. But I will say this: I do want to do a car. It was actually today. I was talking to my friend, and I put a Camaro on my.
Oh.
I put a Camaro on my.
You got to get a classic Camaro. You can't. It's the classic one. Then you got to go back like the old.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But then that's just more fun. So we make more movies, and then we get the classic.
Okay.
The classic.
Yeah, the classic. Okay, are you gonna skydive? Are you gonna jump or not jump out the airplane?
Oh, we jumping.
You jumping?
Face first, head first. Let's go.
All right, guys, it's been a pleasure. We cannot wait to see the next edition of Do Rag News. Every Thursday, we catch it on your YouTube channel. You can catch it on QVision. We rerun them. We play them. Everybody should be looking at our Instagrams. Your Tan Clan News. What else you got? Do Rag News.
Do Rag News, Tan Clan, Daddy Who,
CP Time,
World of Light,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. We will please. We'll do this again in like 6 months so we get an update.
By then I can tell you this. By 6 months, there's gonna be something that we wasn't even thinking about now, but will be in the works. I'm sure of that.
Exactly.
I'll hold you to it.
All right. And let's see the oils too.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Oh my God! You cannot help yourself.
What?
Like, you lucky you found me, because I would have been left this day.